What should people avoid while traveling to Europe? Falling in canals and walking on bicycle paths if they come to the Netherlands. Street scammers in Paris, anywhere really, I just mostly see it in Paris. Avoid any restaurant that tries to strong-arm you into entering. In major cities, don't let anyone hand you anything such as flowers or whatever. Once it is in your hands, they start asking for money. They even gave a flower to one of my kids and then wouldn't take it back. Just set it on the ground and walk away. If you ever visit England and go to the lovely little town in Shropshire called should avoid eye contact with will talk you to death. Do not put your bag purse backpack on the back of your chair when you sit down to eat, especially outside. Thieves look for this, in groups of 3 or 4. One of them will come from one side of you as a snatcher, and the rest will stand in a group very close to you taking or smoking, etc., pretending that they don't know the snatcher. Then the one guy will snatch your item, and run right through the group, in case someone is quick enough to chase. They will accidentally be in your way. Happened in Rome, but locals recognized it and broke it up. Restaurants in touristy areas that have signs out front with pictures of the meals and the price featured prominently. Petty theft and scams. Don't leave stuff lying in the seat next to you on public transport. Carry your wallet in your front pocket, if carrying a bag or purse, towards the front. It's a comment for all tourist areas, Europe just has a lot of them. Don't rent a car if you're going to stay at a major capital, it's not worth it. It's much better to use public transport and get an occasional Uber. Should be obvious, but I'll say it anyway, don't do the Hitler salute while in Germany. Not even as a joke, it's illegal. And Holocaust denial is illegal in 18 European countries. Lol, top of the list. Creepy dudes outside airports trying to split cabs, smiley face, unless your dad's Liam Neeson. Don't fuck around with the Royal Guards in London. Don't think that what goes for one country goes for all. There is all sorts of differences in cultures, laws, etc. If you're from the US, don't sign up for the bullshit $10 per day international service with Verizon or other service providers. Nearly any airport you arrive in will have a place where you can buy a SIM card to put in your phone at fraction of the price. For instance, I once got a SIM card in Seville, Spain for something like €12 and it came with a month of service and 9 gigabytes of data. Edit for using wrong name. Edit 2. Apparently there are eSIM services you can get now that are even easier. I'm not familiar with them, but probably worth looking into. Be respectful to memorial places. Don't come to the idea to make selfies or similar. Inform yourself about the traditions of the country. In some countries, you can openly make small talk with strangers, while in another one, you do have to approach them like a wild animal. Avoid speaking without exchanging greetings first in France at least, and not responding in kind when someone greets you. In other words, exchange bonjour before you ask where the toilet is. Avoid letting your kids act like monsters in public, in restaurants, in particular. Avoid rushing through meals unless your kids are acting like monsters. Coming over with a bunch of cash dollar and using an exchange service to buy euro. Just use your debit or credit card, everywhere. If you need some cash, take it out of the ATM. Exchange rates will be much better, no commission, 3 fee from your bank, but that's reasonable. Do not, for the love of God, wear stilettos in Germany. You will slip and fall down in front of 100 people, including children, who will point and laugh at you as you wobble away on the cobblestone with ankles quivering. I'd avoid Ukraine at the moment. Insinuating that Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland and possibly some parts of Cornwall are in England doesn't go down too well. Avoid assuming Europe is all roughly the same. It's a continent, not a country. You don't go to Japan and expect it to be like Indonesia just because they are both in Asia. In other words, it all depends on which country in Europe you are traveling to. If someone asks you if you dropped your wallet, don't reach for where you keep it. You're telling them exactly where you keep your valuables. Taking a shit somewhere without buying something. I would recommend avoiding let any tourist group plan your trip. You will only see the most touristy stuff and everything you eat will be insanely expensive. If you research enough you can do well in Europe and eat for much less. Euronet ATMs, as they are basically a scam and will charge you up to 20 in fees for the money you are withdrawing. Edit: if you want to find the best deal on cash withdrawal at an ATM, look for a local ATM and opt to use your home bank to calculate the exchange rate. Scams. There are a lot of them. Beware the person that picks up a gold object, ring etc. and tells you that you dropped it. It is not yours and it is costume fake. They will then try to get money out of you. There's another one with a guy that will ask for directions or something like that and then give you an article of clothing. The jacket or shirt will be garbage and he'll try to get money out of you. There are lots of other scams too. When arriving in Iceland on your way to France and going through customs, don't answer the question "what is your destination?" with Europe. Also, when they tell you "so you are in Europe," don't answer with "real Europe." I travel abroad about once a year and this is the only time that I have been the dumb American to the best of my knowledge anyway, and I cringe every time I think of this. Anyone who hands you a rose. Avoid trying to visit too many cities and countries during the same trip and stay everywhere for a minimum of 2 nights. US tourists seem to want to see too many places for short visits and end up not really experiencing anywhere properly. Pickpocketers. I'd avoid social media and watching TV in the month before your trip and spend that time on Duolingo instead. Not sure where exactly you're going in Europe, but it'll help you to know a couple of phrases in the language. Killing the Archduke of Austria. Don't forget to bring counterfeit money to hand to the scammers. And have a mousetrap in a nice, juicy, open pocket. Staying in major capital cities the whole vacation. You will only see a small part of culture there. Try traveling to some smaller cities or even villages and go for a few trips into nature as well. Watch out for pickpockets in Western Europe. There is a stigma that Eastern Europe like Romania and Bulgaria is dangerous, but pickpocketing happens more in Paris, Amsterdam, Barcelona, etc. You shouldn't litter in general, but if you do it in a big city in Europe, you might get a hefty fine. Currency exchanges. Just go to the bank or use an ATM. While visiting Poland, refer to Polish cities, towns with their German names, like saying Danzig for Gdansk. I witnessed couple of drunk German guys did that. Did not go well. That infamous restaurant in Mykonos that charged like $300 for a couple pieces of shrimp and a cocktail and then threaten you if you can't pay, grimacing face. Tipping. Don't start making it the norm here. Please be less loud than you would be in the US. Maybe the most common is expecting and acting as if things there ought to be like they are at home wherever that is. It's probably good to read a little about local customs and behaviors where you're going. Swimming in liquid iron.